Hey everybody, it's Hylian Alchemist, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. In the last episode, we have cleared the demon, whilst we were having to do some silly errand, which is giving some sirloin to that Goria in order to get through that dungeon. But other than that, we went through it. And in this episode, we are just about getting ready to head over to our penultimate dungeon. And I say penultimate because, well, it is the last dungeon where we get the final piece of the Triforce of Wisdom. It's actually not the last dungeon overall because, well, there is... Well, the last dungeon is, of course, well, just having to fight Ganon. But, other than that, we are almost done. So, I'm pretty excited for this, to be honest. I mean, we've come so far, actually. I just remember when, I just started, getting active on this channel and just having to do this game, and look how far we've come. Just got one more Triforce piece to go, and then it's over. Well, I mean, there's actually the second quest, but hey, fuck the second quest. Because, well, I don't know much about it because I haven't actually taken the challenge to the second quest. Well, at least not yet anyways, or I don't know if I ever have any plans to do so. But, yeah, there is a second quest that would be unlocked after you complete this game. And I know I wouldn't have said this a little earlier in time, but I thought it'd be I thought I'd go ahead and just tell you that way, since, well, I'm not really gonna show off the second quest. I don't really think I want to, honestly. So, one thing that's unique about this dungeon is that unlike the other dungeons that have those same old entrances with their own kind of design, this one actually, well, to enter that dungeon, all you have to do is just burn this bush here, and just as soon as I get rid of those moblins, and of course that one over there, we go down those stairs, and you guys saw there was some kind of secret there, like a shop. Well, no, it's actually the dungeon itself. So that's actually kind of unique. It's not like all the other dungeons with their own kind of entrances. It actually just, it's like a disguise of, like, you know, of like when you think of you think it was going to be some sort of secret rupee location or a shop, but nope, it's the dungeon itself. So, this is the lion, and I'm not sure if the layout of this dungeon has a, well, same shape as a lion, or at least the lion's head actually, at least, well, the way I see it, I mean, it didn't quite look like much, but I think that's what it is. Now, from what I can say, I think this dungeon is kinda short. Despite that, though, there are quite a lot of enemies, and there's also something I gotta admit to you guys. Oh, and, oh, what do we have here? Looks to be some sort of magical book. I forgot the exact name of that book, but, well, it's there. I kind of forgot how you're supposed to use it, but, well, I'm sure it'd be kind of like the Book of Medora from Link to the Past, but I kind of forgot what that book would be about. I don't know, I haven't really played this game in a long time, so I kind of forgot it existed. But, anyways. So, that one thing that I was going to admit to you guys, this is, well, this footage right here was actually my second attempt at recording because, well, I actually fucked up at this dungeon. I can't remember exactly where it was I screwed up. I think it was when I was... I think there was a room with all those dark nuts. Well, basically I took a wrong room. It wasn't this room, I know for sure. But it was another room, which, of course, I wasn't exactly supposed to go there, but I went in there by accident, and so I had to fight those dark nuts, and I think that's where I died at. So I didn't really want to show off exactly like how I died at that part, but that's what happened. So this is my second attempt at recording. But just bear in mind that this dungeon is where things get pretty crazy right here, with those enemy placements. Rest assured, though, there are no I was about to say wall masters. No whiz robes. They really, there's really a big difference between whiz robes and wall masters. A huge difference. Well, actually, the only thing that's like about them is that they are, well, they're pretty dickish. But bottom line is there are no whiz robes, thankfully. But there's going to be a lot of dark nuts that you're going to have to fight. And of course, I really can't stand dark nuts. And you know, right after I messed up the part where I died against those dark nuts, I think I remember why I really hated those dark nuts in this game. As far as I'm aware, though, well, actually, dark nuts are I think their worst kind of, I think their worst portrayal is that, in Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, they're very much the worst. And yeah, you can see I'm taking some critical damage there. So, I must heal myself. That's what you always must do in dire situations like these. You must heal thyself. I don't really know, I just went there, I just felt like it. Don't ask. So, actually, one thing I forgot to mention is that, I didn't quite remember if this dungeon was supposed to have a particular item that we'll be needing, but I actually did remember that there was that book, but I just don't remember what exactly it's for. Maybe it's for a certain thing, but I don't exactly know. I think it might have been a key item. It's not really, well, yeah, it's actually, it is a key item right here, like the raft, but I can't really remember exactly what it's supposed to be for. Because like I said, it's been a long time since I played this game, so there are some very minor details that I might have forgotten about. So I do apologize if that's the case. Because, you know, I have gotten around... I mostly get around to the later Zelda games. I mean, this game isn't really bad or anything. I mean, sure, it is a very guiding a game. Because you do need that, because if you don't have a guide to get through this game, then you're pretty much gonna have nowhere to go. You're pretty much stuck, so that's why, well, I believe is what, Shigeru Miyamoto says, that you do need a guide for this game. But, you know, like I said, despite that, the game's just not bad or anything. I mean, it just hasn't really aged well. So it's actually, I mean, I kind of do like this game. Don't get me wrong. It still is good in its own rights, but it's not the kind of game that I would actually go back to, because later Zelda games actually do a much better job. Well, I mean, not so much with Zelda 2, because, I mean, Zelda 2 is just hell. It is just, well, it's Satan. It's Satan's game. So, I probably have to exclude that because of it. But it's actually starting with A Link to the Past, when things got a little better. And they kind of get a bit more, well, a bit more convenient, but there are times where sometimes you might need a guide for certain things, well, particularly in dungeons. But they're not all the way like this game, where you actually do need a guide to get through with this game. So, I mean, yeah, it is very guiding, and no, I'm really not making this up here. Honestly, I'm not making this, that kind of term up. It's actually, I'm actually referencing TV tropes, which by the time that you would have already heard this, and if you haven't heard of it at all, then you're probably going to look it up, and then your life is pretty much going to be consumed by TV tropes. I mean, trust me, it will. I mean, as soon as I heard it, I looked it up, and, well, I got hooked. I just continuously read it, and then I had, well, almost full knowledge of it. But yeah, that's where I got it from, TV tropes, but I'm pretty sure, a lot of, well, pretty much a lot of people I know has already heard of it. So, anyway, I'm pretty sure that up north, that northern door up there, I'm pretty sure that that's where I died at. Like, I just stumbled to that door by accident, and I realized that when I looked at the guide for Zelda Dungeon, I realized that I wasn't actually supposed to go there. And once you go in there, then that's where you're going to be trapped with those dark nuts. And for some reason, it's actually the easier dark nuts, not the blue ones. Those were the red dark nuts. Oh yeah, and take a look at this here. Look at this. You see that dark nut? Yeah, he's stuck right in those blocks, and he really just can't find a way out. And because of that, it's kind of hard for you to hit him. Just look at him. He's like, what am I supposed to do? I've got nowhere to go. What am I doing? Why does it have to be this way? But I actually still found a way to kill him, and well, I'm gonna have to anyway. I think if it's ever possible, I could have just released him like that, but I think it's one of those times where you have to kill the enemies first, and then you can move the block. I mean, it's happened before, so I'm pretty sure it's still going to be the case like that. So, if you just saw what I just picked up, that was the Lion Key. And it's actually a special kind of key. It's actually a very convenient kind of key. And the reason why it says A, well, that key right there, that means that you have an infinite amount of keys. Like, you know, if you were to go through a locked door, that key will never go away, unlike those other small keys. So, with the Lion Key here, you can unlock any kind of door. Well, I mean, you can just go through any of those locked doors, and you can never lose it. You can always have it with you. So you're free to go through any door without having to worry about just risking the other keys. It is very convenient, and it's actually very helpful for the last dungeon in this game. Actually, as a matter of fact, there are 2 pathways that you would take, like, if you actually didn't have the Lion Key, then, there's actually another pathway that you can take to use up those small keys. But that second pathway is where it's best to just use that Lion Key, so that way you won't have to worry about, having to lose it. Now, because of that, whenever we get to that last dungeon, I think I'm just gonna use that one pathway where we would be using the Lion Key instead of the pathway where it's actually required for you to have the Lion Key with you. But if you guys actually want me to show off that other pathway where like if you didn't have the Lion Key, then I don't mind showing it off to you guys. But I mean, I just wanted to get this game done so I can move on to the next LP and just get through the last dungeon. But I wouldn't mind if you guys wanted me to show off the other pathway without the Lion Key. So, if I get enough requests with, if I get enough requests for a lot of people that if they want me to show off the other pathway, then I'll just see to it, and maybe I'll do that. But, for now, I just want to focus on getting done with this LP. You know, as a matter of fact, whenever I say Lion Key, it kind of sounds like I'm actually referring to The Lion King, you know, that Disney movie, which, that's not what I'm referring to right now. It's actually just Lion Key, but, hey, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm making some sort of reference there. It is just called Lion Key. Well, that key we just picked up. But yeah, it kind of does sound like it. Now, this is also where I kind of got lost at. Like, even though I try to follow through Zelda Dungeon's guide to this, for some reason, I actually kind of got stumped. And apparently Zelda Dungeon actually got me confused at that part. Because, like, there was a picture of... Like, the picture they showed off was very, very different. It was actually a picture of that last dungeon, and so I actually took the longer way than what they intended me to do. So, I think, that part of the guide on Zelda Dungeon kind of screwed up. So, anyway, now we have Gleeok once again. Same thing as before, except, well, he has like 4 heads now, so... But he's still rather easy. you know what you're doing. So, yeah, as much as Zelda, no matter how helpful Zelda Dungeon can be, they're not exactly perfect. Because there are times where, even though I follow through their walkthroughs, I still kind of got screwed up. So there are times where they can kind of get you stumped. And see, I bombed this wall right there, and see, it actually is bombable. So I could have taken the shortcut, but no, I just took the long way because I was stumped. So, I mean, they're still helpful in their regard, but they're not exactly perfect, because I remember getting stumped when I was playing, I think it was either Oracle of Ages, or was it Oracle of Seasons? I can't really remember, but either one of those games, I remember getting stumped when I was trying to follow their walkthrough. So, yeah, there are times when they can kind of get you a bit stumped. Just sometimes, but they're still very helpful. So, anyway, now we have finally, at long last, acquired the final piece of the Triforce of Wisdom, and now that Triforce is finally complete. And now we are finally worthy of entering the final dungeon of the game. I keep saying final or finally alive. I really don't know why. Maybe it's just the hype that I'm getting. I don't know. But with that, now we are ready to face Ganon and save Princess Zelda and all of Hyrule. So, with that in mind, tune in next time. We will finally face Ganon. And then we will be done with this LP. So, until then, see you all later.